Welcome back, everybody, to another Pittsburgh Pirates franchise video. We are in the postseason, but having gained the NLDS opportunity, we got absolutely thrashed in our first game against Philadelphia, and it was really, really ugly. For Game 2, we are set up to have Andrew Abbott and Aaron Nola face off, and what I'm really hoping for in this game is to show a little bit of grit and backbone, and just not roll over like we did there in Game 1. There was a lot of opportunities wasted, a lot of mistakes made, and I'm hoping for Game 2 to come back in a big way. I have shifted the lineup. I no longer have Luis Arraez leading off. He has not been very successful doing that for us, unfortunately, and that was one of the things that I had really forecasted him doing well at, so we've got to make a change and we've got to pivot here as we're in the postseason. Game 2 of the NLDS begins shortly, and it's hard to believe that we've achieved this position here just in year 2. We lost 12-3 in the first game, and like I said, a jump up in competition. The Phillies better in every way compared to the Arizona Diamondbacks. Aaron Nola has had a great year through the regular season here in 2026, through almost 200 innings pitched, a 3.88 ERA, and it's going to be another tough one. Throws a knuckle curve, fastball, sinker, circle change, and cutter. So a lot of stuff that's going to be coming in from that right arm pitcher side. And Oneil Cruz will take ball 1. He gets a little dribbler that goes through into left field. And all right, we've got a leadoff base runner. Oneil Cruz has not started off for us very often in the regular season. And if he did, I'm pretty sure it's just because the manager changed the lineup. I don't know if I've ever intended Cruz to begin a game for us, but that's fine. He got a single, stole second, and Brian Reynolds is trying to bring him in now as we've got a runner in scoring position after only 4 pitches. Hits that well, and it goes through into center field. There we go. That's, well, another weak dribbler. I said he hit it well, but well placed and well timed. And that's the first run. There we go. Maybe Pittsburgh off to a hot start in this one, and if we can get Aaron Nola for any significant damage, and we might see the bullpen earlier than Philadelphia wants us to. Bart will pop out to the right, and now Colson Montgomery is up to the plate. And I did feel like against a left-handed pitcher that we had a decent setup. I was actually very comfortable with how the lineup looked against lefties, but we were not able to do very much against lefties in the times that we've seen them. So it's more of like a stats versus reality kind of a situation, and that's a little unfortunate. But against righties, I do think like we've got a more achievable level of sustained success. You know, I expect us to be more consistent against righties than lefties. And we'll see Andrew Abbott take the mound today. It's going to be his first appearance here in the postseason, and Trey Turner is going to swing and miss up top. Abbott's got him for the strikeout. And I can't help but think back to the first time that we saw Andrew Abbott. After we acquired him on a trade, Abbott came in, and I expected him just to be okay. I was hoping for around a low 4 ERA. And just trying to be realistic, because he replaced Mitch Keller, who had his ERA up at like 4.5, I think, around the time of the trade, and he was just really not able to put it together. And Kyle Tucker to Arraez, Montgomery back to Arraez, and that's a double play. Fantastic start of the day for Abbott. But anyways, yeah, Abbott in his debut for us, we made that video, and he just mowed him down. I want to say he had 12 strikeouts or something like that for that game. It was incredible. And so I did not hope, or rather, I didn't think that that was going to continue. That would be completely unrealistic. But in any way, Abbott has done better this season than I anticipated he would. And here I'm hoping for another good performance in the postseason. Luis Arraez gets a single through into center field to give Spencer Horwitz something. Nope. Okay. Swing and a miss. That was way down in the dirt. That's an ugly swing there. That's my bad. Jared Triolo, and it does get over first base. There we go. Into right field. We will send Arraez over to third. Even though he's slow with 44 speed, he huffs it and makes it safe. And now Jack Sawinski, the hero of our postseason so far, stepping in after Evan Carter got injured. That was devastating news, but it could not be going better here in Pittsburgh as Sawinski lifts that deep to right, or not right, left field, and that's brought down. Sawinski has been so good, but he will strand 2 in the early opportunity, but we have already struck first, and it's 1-0 so far. Marcell Ozuna will then pop out and arise. He's playing first today because I wanted to give Spencer Horwitz the DH role. I did not want to lose Spencer Horwitz in the lineup, so in order for him to regain any energy and still play, he has to be the DH. And here I'm paying for it, as Arise cannot pick up that ball cleanly. Instead of an out, Harper's going to get on first. Wow, okay. So 1 out, 1 man on. Alec Bohm at the plate, averaging 600 against us. We got to drop that. And hey, it's another fan with a poster, and that's the same guy from yesterday. He's back. That horrifying face. Philadelphia really loves their poster boards, and they show out, and it's funny to see the same Philly fan here, two games in a row. But it's 0-1 against Bohm. And that's a called strike, or no, the umpire signaling that he went for it, so 0-2 now. Bohm is behind. And we got him. Circle change on the outer edge, and Bohm can't help but try to defend it, but he doesn't grab a piece of it, and that's Abbott's second strikeout. JT Realmuto lifts that deep to left field. Reynolds going back, and he's got it. All right. Abbott gets out of 2 without being scored upon, and the lineup turns over now for the first time today for O'Neal Cruz. And that's a perfect shot, right center field. It's going to find the gap, bounce off the wall, and O'Neal Cruz will have another inning leadoff hit. That's a double this time, and we've got him in scoring position without him having to steal. So very productive from the leadoff position there. And Reynolds to left field, and no, that's going to be fielded cleanly, excuse me. And O'Neal Cruz with 80 speed at second base is not quite fast enough. It didn't go quite deep enough to pull him out, so he's going to stay on second. And Joey Bart weakly grounds that to first. Nola with the assist, and he's there, but Cruz moves up to third. And Colson Montgomery with 2 outs will get an opportunity. It's 1-2 against him. And a swing and a miss on a good knuckle curve that just disappears below the zone, and Nola gets out with another clean inning, though. Good way for him and the Phillies to bounce back. But Abbott has been stellar through 2. And that's a broken back. Triolo charging in, and right there on the line is our first out of the third. Brandon Marsh now batting in the 9 spot. Weird to see him all the way down there. Averaging 750 against us. Triolo on the dribbler will pick that up. And we've got him at first. There we go. We're going to lower that average. But there's no safe spot in the lineup, really, against Philadelphia. And Trey Turner will then lift that high behind home plate for Joey Bart. Here we go. Another really good inning for Abbott, and we're beginning to feel like we might have an idea of what's going on in this game, you know? We might have put it together now. First game was a little bit of a shell-shocked experience. You know, they really just pounded us for a ton of runs, couldn't figure out their pitching, and there's a lot of action so far against Aaron Nola, and he's been able to wiggle out of it each time. But I am very happy that we've been able to string together some hits. We've got 6 right now, and Triolo pops that up in shallow center field for the second baseman to grab, and he does so to end the 4th. So Nola gets out of another one. Plenty of base runners, though, and got to feel really good about that. Bryson Stott now will swing and miss on the circle change as he's challenged up in the zone. And Abbott's got another strikeout. Still only 3. We're not going to see that dozen strikeout day, I don't think. And Kyle Tucker swings and misses on the sweeper. There we go. We sit down King Tuck, and we'll move forward to Marcell Ozuna. It's 1-2 against him. And that's lifted high for Luis Arise over in foul territory behind first. And that's 4 innings down. There we go. Now it's a plop game if you look at the scoreboard. No longer a poop matchup. And Sawinski will watch that below the zone. It's a full count now, 3-2. And Cruz is about to come back around. He's on deck. It's important for me that we show something here in Game 2, because when you get blown out, as we did in Game 1, against such a high level of competition, it's really deflating and demoralizing to come into Game 2. And I'm going to try the hit and run there. Cruz lifts it, and no, that's in center field. They catch it. They're trying to get Sawinski, and they got him. A double play off of the attempted and failed hit and run. That's really tough, because I was trying to do something aggressive and something a little bit differently with the hit and run, We've gotten a few of the weak contact, little dribbler singles from some of these guys already, and I was hoping for something like that, or at least to prevent a double play. Brian Reynolds to left, and it does just barely drop in. They can't field it cleanly, but either way, that's still a single, and Reynolds is on with 2 outs now. Joey Bart in the 3 spot today, and that's a weak grounder over to second base, and another base runner wasted. Aaron Nola still looking very good despite all the hits against him. 1-2, and a swing and miss from Harper. There we go. Abbott has had really good command so far, and again, we've only got 5 strikeouts. We're not going to be, well, make it 6. All right, I don't know how many times I'm going to say, hey, it's not going to be a high strikeout day, and Andrew Abbott just comes right up with another K. 0-0 against Real Muto, and that's weekly popped up. So we've got 5 really good, excellent command, clean innings, lots of good defense behind him, and Abbott is looking really good through the halfway point of this game. 2 outs now for Luis Arraez as we move forward to the top of the 6th. Nola still in here, and his pitch count's looking very good. And Luis Arraez, there we go! Deep to right field in the second deck, 414 feet. All right! The guy not known for power does it one more time, and the Phillies faithful shouting to throw it back. Absolutely not. Somebody keep that. That's a Luis Arraez souvenir in the postseason, and I don't know if he's actually done that in real life before. That'd be fun to try to see and do a little bit of research for. Spencer Horwitz is going to lift that deep to left center field, and no, it's at the warning track. All right, the strangely shaped wall angle there prevents another homer. And I want to look at the relievers now because this was a real problem here in Game 1. I'm going to warm up Baczynski. We've got Harvey that's a little too tired, but Clevenger, Santana, Bednar, and Holderman all could make appearances today. I'd like to leave Clevenger to rest if we can, but if we have to use him, he's up at like 90% energy, so it'll probably be Santana first. We'll see. For right now, though, I'm just preparing. Andrew Abbott has been stellar. 70 pitches, it's 0-2 against Miller. And that's weekly hit, but in the perfect spot. That goes into left field. And the Phillies have a leadoff base runner. And now Brandon Marsh comes back around, 2-0 against him. And that is fouled off to the left, so we bring it back a little bit, 2-1 now. And Abbott is still on green for his energy bar. He's not quite tired. That one goes in the dirt. Bart searching for it, but that will advance the runner. And yeah, we might be seeing signs of that fatigue now. Andrew Abbott on the wild pitch allows the runner to advance, but that was, I think, a called strike. Marsh might have went around mostly, so 2-2 against him. Try something trailing outside, and that misses a little too far out there. The sweeper not good, and that's 3-2 now. Abbott is now yellow and fatigued on his energy bar. Reynolds going after that, and he makes it, but he tumbles, and they send the runner over to third. If he had stayed upright, then we probably would have gotten him, but Reynolds instead is going to tumble. Let's see if we can get a replay there. No, forget it. All right, so Andrew Abbott with low energy, high confidence. I just don't know. There's a man on third, and they've got 2 outs, so even a little bunt attempt or something like that could be dangerous. And I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. Abbott has given us an incredibly solid day. Really, really appreciate his efforts, and it's a huge reason why we're in the lead now. We got blown out yesterday. The pitching was terrible. They really figured us out. And so far today, we've really had a handle on it. Carmen Baczynski has had 2 clean innings in the postseason, and we're going to give him the call one more time. Righties are hitting him a little bit better than lefties. Low strikeout rate, but we've got 2 outs to get. And Trey Turner is at the plate as the lineup has turned over. And that's weekly hit. Montgomery diving is able to stop it from going into center field, but that will be a single and an RBI for Trey Turner, and Philadelphia's on the board. That run will be charged to Andrew Abbott, but we're trying to prevent any more damage. Wow, we don't get that call against Bryson Stott. It's a fastball on the outer edge. It's 1-0 now. And no, Bryson Stott, a no-doubter deep to right field. And just like that, we do fantastic for 5 innings of play. And here in the 6th, they suddenly come back and surge up for 3 runs. Off of the Bryson Stott home run, they get 2 more. And yeah, there we go. Now we're trying to climb our way back one more time. We prevented the blowout for the majority of the game, but the Phillies have taken the lead now 3-2. And it's King Tuck back at the plate. He hits that well. Triolo is able to snag it, though, at second base. And that's our first out since, I guess, but second out of the inning. All right, 0-1 against Ozuna. Weekly hit, and it's fair. The umpire says it's fair, but it's directly on the line. You can barely see the ball. Ozuna charging for second, and he will get there. A 2-out double. And all the luck suddenly shifts towards Philadelphia. We're going to go ahead and make the change here now. Talked about reacting in the postseason quicker than I normally would, and we'll bring in Garrett Clevenger. I wanted him to rest, but we're now in a critical situation. I need this game to stay close to give us a chance, and we need one more out to strand that base runner. Harper at the plate. Contact. Triolo dives. He's able to stop it, so that prevents the run for sure. I think they would have sent the runner if that went further into right field, so we at least have another opportunity to get these guys out. But there's runners on the corners for Bohm. That's hit well. Cruz is going to have to run a long way going back left center field, and he's got it. There we go. Clevenger able to get us out of the situation, and the lead is only one. And the Phillies bring in Jose Alvarado, who's had a really, really good year, a 3.19 ERA over 59 innings. And it's 1-2 against Triolo. 8, 9, and 1 due up here in the top of the seventh. That's a swing and a miss. Good cutter inside. Nice movement on that pitch. That's a really well-placed one, too. So, great job by Alvarado. And it's 0-2 against Jack Sawinski now. Swing and a miss as we get tied up in knots. I thought that was the cutter coming through to snag the bottom corner. Instead, it's a sinker moving further away. And that's another really good pitch from Alvarado. 0-2 against Cruz. And we finally don't swing at one outside of the zone. 1-2 now. Alvarado delivering. That's hit well. It's going deep to left field, and it looks to be... No, it's not routine. It keeps going. Oh, my gosh, it's out of here. Wow. That was pretty much a lazy fly ball. 94 miles an hour off of the bat, and somehow it just continues to carry. And Oneil Cruz, unexpectedly, has suddenly just tied this game, and here we go. Still competitive now in the seventh inning. And Cruz has given us some life. It's 2 outs, but Brian Reynolds is at the plate. He's 2 for 3 today. Make it 3 for 3. A perfect shot. Laser beam, line drive in the center field, and we're not quite done. Now the scoreboard reflects a peep game. Kind of backwards there for the threes, but you guys get it. You know what I mean. Joey Bart now trying to come through again. No way! Wow, Bohm at third base. Before the seventh inning stretch, let's take another look. Bohm laying out for that, reacting in a millisecond. And yeah, able to get there. Wow, excellent defense at third base. We'll leave Clevenger in. He only used 3 pitches to get that final out of the 6th. Then here in the bottom of the 7th, that's a deep one for Sawinski, and we've got it. 1 down. Realmuto's retired, and that will bring up Aiden Miller. 1 for 2 today now. The pitch from Clevenger. Popped up, and a rise on the first baseline, almost directly there. Yeah, right on the path, and that's out number 2. And Brandon Marsh is back. Still weird seeing him hitting the 9 spot. And another one for a rise. We put him in there despite his low defensive ratings. He's only had 1 bumble. Other than that, he's been all right. So at least we know that's an option. And the Phillies will bring in now Orion Kerkering. And every time that I've faced this guy in this game, he's had my number. He's a really challenging pitcher to play against here and try to hit. And we've got 4, 5, 6, though. It's the heart of the lineup. Or right there close to it. Montgomery. And nope, that's not going to sneak through. And he's called out at first base. But we get an option to challenge here. Okay, well, let's take a look at this. We've got 20 seconds, and they're going to show a replay here as the countdown comes. And... oh, that's very close. I don't know if that's enough to overturn and glove foot. It's nearly a tie. I don't think that I'm going to win that one, though. I think I'm going to let that go. Just in case we do get another one, I don't want to burn it. It's a tie game right now. That's not going to be the one that wins it, I don't think. But Max Schumann's at the plate, and that's a swing and a miss on the sweeper under the zone. 0-1. Come on, Schumann. Need you to do something. Fouled away on that sweeper, and it's 0-2 now. Kerkering delivering. gosh, that sweeper. Again, the action on that is so good. It just disappears under the zone. Almost looks like just an ultra slider, but it's got a lot of vertical drop as well. We come back to Luis Arraez. And that's a perfect... Oh, come on, man. All right, well, perfect hit, but it goes right to shortstop, and that's an out. And it's time for Dennis Santana to come in. 56 innings pitched throughout this year with a 1.91 ERA, a 1.15 whip, a low walk rate, decent strikeout rate. Feel comfortable with Santana in just about any of these situations. And he will assist and field that, and Trey Turner is sat down. There we go. Bryson Stott now, 2 for 3 today. It's 0-1 against him. Santana will get a pop-up. Montgomery posted underneath that in shallow left field. And that's out number 2. They're coming down to the wire in this game as we're still tied now. And Kyle Tucker is back at the plate. 1-2. Swing and a miss on the slider. And Santana sits him down. An excellent inning for the setup man. And we'll move into the 9th. And that means that we're going to see Ryan Helsley, the dominant closer. 46 out of 50 save opportunities have gone his way. 74 innings pitched, sub-1 whip, 1.58 ERA. I mean, all of the scary numbers that you don't want to see when this guy comes to the mound. And he will plunk Spencer Horwitz right on the hip. Wow, okay. It's a nice way to get a leadoff base runner. Thanks for taking one for the team, literally and figuratively. And Triolo weakly, 2 diving attempts to stop it, and Triolo is going to get there. All right, 2 men on. Fantastic. That's scored as a base hit. I do agree with that. And Jack Sawinski now, the hero of so many games in the postseason, has 2 men on. He'll watch that fastball. 102 down and away. That's so hard. My gosh. All right, Helsley gets him to foul it off. Count evens up at 1-1. Sawinski has just been so incredible. Cannot praise him enough right now. He's the hot guy. And that goes to left center field. There we go. Sawinski, a line drive into the gap. And that'll drive home too. Send that runner. Go, go, go. Let's go. That's a 5-3 lead now. Sawinski comes through again. I cannot believe this guy. Wow, man. If this was like real life or whatever, I'd love to, if I was the owner, I'd give him a bonus right there. Buy him a car, give him a bigger paycheck, whatever that man wants. Get Sawinski what he needs. I mean, just wow. He's been so good time and time again, stepping in for Evan Carter. It's like every episode we've got something to talk about. Reynolds, weakly hit, they tried to throw home, and Sawinski's there. Wow, an error on the decision-making, I will say, as Reynolds, with a swinging bunt, will drive in another run. And the Phillies are going to make a change now. We've got Helsley out of there. And it's Jalen Beeks. Much less scary on his numbers, and it's also a lot more comforting that we're in the top of the 9th with a 3-run lead now. All of a sudden, here we go. Joey Bart, and that goes down the line. There we go. Joey Bart with a 1-out double. Send the runner. He didn't field it very well out there and left. And that, oh my gosh, you guys, a 4-run lead now. This, right, all the luck has turned back our way. I can't even talk right. I can't project out what I want to right now, but wow, so much excitement, so many clutch moments from these guys, Sawinski and Bart. I mean, Bart throughout the year was really, really incredible in some critical moments that we've had. Sawinski obviously has had some very big highlights, but here in the postseason, it's just reached a whole nother level. Colson Montgomery will fly out to left field, will hold the runner, only 49 speed there at second, and the Phillies are 1 out away from closing out this disastrous inning for them, and they will do that right now. Schumann, a weak dribbler to short, and that's it. And it's time to close this thing down. So we're going to bring in the 2026 reliever of the year, Colin Holderman. He's had 1 save in the postseason so far, and with 4 runs, I don't think this qualifies as a true save opportunity, but I still am going to treat it that way. And Ozuna will get that into right field. Sawinski fielding, and that's a leadoff single. So the Phillies also letting us know that they're not done quite yet. And Bryce Harper comes in. It's 0-2. And that's it deep to center field, but Cruz able to get there in plenty of time and field that, and that's out number 1. Non-productive. There we go. Alec Boehm now. 0-1 against him. Searching for that double play. And that's it. Past a rise. Oh, that would have been it if he could get that and field it cleanly. Instead, Bohm gets a single through in the right field, and there's 2 outs now. JT Realmuto still not representing the tying run. And no, it's called fair. Come on, man. It bounced right out of the line. Realmuto with a single on the botched call there by the umpire. I don't like that at all. And now this is a little concerning. Holderman's allowed 2 men on, 3 hits, 7 pitches. Confidence is still mostly okay. Plenty of energy. But we need to get out of this game, and we need to get out right now. It's 1-2 against Aiden Miller. Holderman gets a dribbler, Triolo to Montgomery, and to a rise. There we go. The Pirates win. Raise the Jolly Roger. We struck back against the Phillies in Game 2, and we're not going out getting swept. This is incredibly exciting, you guys. I was really happy to win that Diamondback series, but I knew this Phillies series was going to be a significantly tougher challenge, but we're here, and I think that we might just be ready for it. More than we expected here in year 2. We are the only team to put up a fight so far in the postseason as far as the division series goes. Baltimore's got 2 wins over Minnesota, Seattle with 2, the Dodgers with 2, and we've tied the series up now with Philadelphia. Game 3 is going to see Zach Wheeler versus Paul Skeens as we start our rotation over and we deliver an ace to try to find a win here in the middle of this postseason series. I'll see you guys soon for the next episode. Thank you so much.